is not a drill. People, the lies, the savage betrayals, and the explosive secrets are about to blow Fairmont Crest wide open. Everything just changed. We are entering a brutal, unforgiving new era on Beyond the Gates, and the chaos is off the charts. Joey Armstrong, the untouchable casino kingpin, is finally backed into a corner, and the walls are closing in fast. If you thought the tornado was destructive, you have not seen anything yet, because the emotional devastation hitting our favorite characters is about to leave absolute ruin in its wake. Let's talk about the absolute bombshell that kicked off this week. Vanessa McBride just dropped a nuclear piece of news on Joey, and it has left him completely shaken to his core. I am telling you, this is war. For months, Joey has been pulling the strings, acting like the undisputed puppet master of the DMV. He has manipulated, schemed, and intimidated his way to the top. But Vanessa, she is not just sitting on the sidelines anymore. She is making aggressive, calculated moves, and she is slowly but surely taking over the reins of Joey's empire. Vanessa versus the hostile takeover. The dynamic between these two has completely flipped, and it is a savage game of chess. Joey is officially in deep, deep trouble. Vanessa is stepping up, taking ironclad control of the properties and the business operations they manage together. We know the timeline states that Joey informs Vanessa of a change in their business arrangement, but let's read between the lines here and look at the real psychology at play. This is a desperate retaliation. Vanessa is altering the terms of their agreement, putting Joey in a highly uncomfortable, suffocating position where he cannot even object. She is forcing his hand, and he is scrambling to maintain his alpha status. Why can't Joey just shut her down? Because of the ultimate, terrifying secret hanging over his head, the murder of Doug McBride. Joey has innocent blood on his hands, and that brutal truth is a ticking time bomb waiting to detonate. If Joey pushes back too hard against Vanessa's hostile takeover, he risks everything. Vanessa holds the keys right now, and Joey is absolutely paralyzed by the fear that his sinister role in Doug's death will be dragged into the light. This is a masterclass in psychological warfare, and Vanessa is playing him like a fiddle. But wait, the plot thickens, and it gets even more chaotic. Why is Vanessa making these aggressive moves right now? What was the shocking news that left Joey so rattled? I have a massive theory, and it perfectly aligns with the clues we have been given. Heather Armstrong. Yes, the impaler herself. Do we really think Heather just packed her designer bags and went back to London peacefully after Joey rejected her partnership? Absolutely not. Heather is a ruthless international crime boss, and she does not take no for an answer. Heather versus the enemy within. What if Vanessa's shocking news to Joey is that Heather is her newest real estate client? Just imagine the sheer, unadulterated panic on Joey's face when he realizes his sister is planting roots in his territory. Vanessa, running her real estate business, might be unknowingly or perhaps knowingly, which would be an epic twist, helping the leader of the plasma ring buy property right under Joey's nose in Fairmont Crest. This would completely explain why Joey is so deeply rattled and why he suddenly needs to change their business arrangement. He has to sever ties or block Heather's influence before the police, especially a traumatized and vengeful Jacob Hawthorne come knocking with a wrecking ball. Heather refusing to leave quietly means Joey's criminal sanctuary is under siege. He is fighting a war on two fronts, his ambitious girlfriend in the boardroom and his lethal sister in the underworld. The tension is palpable, and the stakes have literally never been higher. Joey versus the sinister manipulation. This brings us to the most sickening, twisted part of Joey's survival strategy. Joey versus Deanna McBride. This is a battle of manipulation, and it is absolutely savage. Joey is terrified of Deanna. She is a loose cannon. She hates him with a burning passion, and she is deeply, emotionally connected to the memory of her father, Doug. To control the narrative and keep his deadly secret buried in the dirt, Joey orchestrates a truly diabolical scheme. He cannot afford for Deanna to go digging into the past, so he decides to neutralize her in the most disgusting way possible. Joey summons his sleazy, reliable henchman, Randy Parker. We know from the timeline that Joey asks Randy if Deanna would recognize him, declaring that she needs to be on the job. Joey is ordering Randy to target, manipulate, and potentially seduce Deanna. It is a vile, predatory move, but it shows exactly how desperate and cornered Joey has become. He wants Deanna distracted, emotionally compromised, and completely under his thumb. He is using human lives as collateral damage to protect his own skin. But why Randy? Why would Deanna ever give a guy like Randy smash the time of day? This is where the brilliant, heartbreaking reality sets in. Randy is known to Deanna as Doug's childhood friend. This is the ultimate, most cruel bait imaginable. Deanna is grieving, isolated, and desperate for any connection to her late father. She is drowning in a sea of unanswered questions and unresolved trauma. When Randy approaches her, she isn't going to see a casino thug. She is going to see a safe harbor. She is going to see a piece of her dad walking right up to her. She is going to walk right into this sinister trap because her guard will be completely down. She will embrace Randy, hoping to hear stories of her father's youth, completely unaware that she is hugging the devil's right-hand man. The sheer betrayal of this setup is enough to make your stomach churn. Randy versus the inevitable backfire. However, Joey's master plan is about to become a spectacular, explosive, double-edged sword. This is where the tension skyrockets to unimaginable levels. Randy might think this is an easy gig, just cozy up to the boss's girlfriend's daughter, but he is walking blindfolded into a literal minefield. Deanna is not stupid. She is fierce, she is inquisitive, and she is driven by a daughter's love. Once she gets comfortable with Randy, what is the very first thing she is going to do? She is going to start asking questions about Doug. She is going to want to know everything. The timeline explicitly states that Randy feels uneasy about this assignment. Why? Because Randy knows too much. He knows the dark, bloody truth about Joey's criminal empire and the ruthless lengths Joey will go to protect it. As Deanna starts interrogating him about Doug's final days, digging into the timeline and asking for specifics, Randy is going to be put in an impossible, suffocating position. Can you feel the suspense? Every single conversation between Randy and Deanna is going to be a high-stakes game of Russian roulette. Randy is sweating bullets, his heart pounding in his chest, trying to keep Joey's secrets while looking directly into the tear-filled eyes of a grieving daughter who just wants the truth. The psychological warfare happening inside Randy's head will be intense. He is caught between his loyalty to a murderous boss and the guilt of deceiving his dead childhood friend's daughter. One wrong word, one slip of the tongue, one inconsistent detail, and Deanna will realize that her father's death was no tragic accident. If Randy cracks, and I firmly believe he will, under Deanna's relentless emotional pressure, Joey's entire world is going to burn to the ground. Deanna will not rest until she destroys the man responsible for taking her father away. Joey's plan to silence her is going to be the exact catalyst that brings his empire crashing down around him. This is the ultimate irony, my friends. Joey Armstrong thought he could outsmart everyone. He thought he could manipulate Vanessa, dismiss Heather, and control Deanna. But his hubris is his downfall. The dominoes are falling, and they are falling fast. Vanessa is seizing power and changing the rules of the game. Heather is lurking in the shadows, ready to strike and claim her territory. And Deanna is unknowingly inching closer and closer to the explosive truth about her father's murder, armed with the very weapon Joey sent to destroy her. The betrayal is imminent. The chaos is spreading like wildfire. The fallout from this week will be absolutely legendary, leaving permanent scars on the residents of Fairmont Crest. Do not miss what happens next, because the landscape of Beyond the Gates will never, ever be the same. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, sound off in the comments with your wildest theories, and I will see you in the next video.